great audience.
And we've also watched your boys grow up, including your son, Michael.
Michael Mack. Why don't you come up here? Michael McInerney, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on up.
So Michael is a blues musician here in the city of Chicago, and I know we have a lot of people here from out of town. And I'm sure you've all had your pizza by now, right? If you're from out of town. But something that you really need to consume when you're in Chicago is the music. And blues music is a huge part of what makes this city work. And a lot of great blues musicians have come out of Chicago, guys like Buddy Guy, Lonnie Brooks, so many.
So many.
All right, those two. But I think we have some rising talent here right in front of us. 19 years old, Michael McInerney has been playing out in blues clubs, blues fests, blues bars since he was about 13 years old. And
don't ask how I got in.
So Michael's going to give you a little taste of Chicago blues here tonight. And so without further ado, let's turn this place into a blues bar. Let's get bluesy here in Reggie's. What's this all about? What's going on down here? We got Cris Macht here on the tambourine, ladies and gentlemen. So percussion from Cris Macht, guitar, vocal, and harmonica from Michael McInerney.
upstairs. I'm gonna take down all my clothes. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna take down all my clothes. I believe my time ain't long, and you know I've gotta go. One more.
All right. Michael McInerney, Glen Nelson, Cris Macht.
Thank you for having me up here, guys.
Oh, Michael, I love you, man. I love you, man. So that was a song by Elmore James called Dust My Broom.
Yes.
And these guys had never played before. They never had rehearsal or anything. I think it sounded pretty damn good.
I did too.
I think it sounded pretty damn good. Whoops. You want to be careful about that next time, though.
Yeah. I'm a professional, I swear.
But thank you so much, Michael. And you have a very busy weekend this weekend. You want to tell people where they can see you if they're not at the convention center?
Yes, so if you love the suburbs of Chicago, boy, have I got a weekend for you. On Saturday at 1 p.m., I'm going to be playing with my band, The Vaughn Building, at a little record store in Westmont called Blue Village Vinyl. If you want to look that up, it's Record Store Day, but you guys have a pretty busy weekend yourselves. And then I'm going to be playing something a little more local in Countryside, Hodgkins. It's at a little pizza place called Salerno's. It's a charity gig. And I'll be on there at 5 p.m. and I'll be playing songs from the 60s.
All right. So check out Michael McInerney if you're out in the suburbs this weekend. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad I found you at that convention, because if I didn't, we wouldn't.
I got a quick little story about that convention that I'd like to share with everyone.
All right, here it comes.
Don't
a Michael
worry.
Mack celebration flashback.
I didn't just get lost. Other stuff happened, like, well...
Your mother can't take any more. Come on.
No, don't worry. It's all good. I was the talk of the kindergarten playground by telling everybody that I met R2-D2 in the bathroom.
Kenny Baker.
So I was waiting for a stall before I got lost. And I'm like, oh, man, let's get it moving. I really got to go. And out steps this man from the bathroom. And I recognize him. I'm like, you're R2-D2. And he says, here you go, buddy. I proceeded to use the bathroom, and it was a glorious moment that I will tell my kids about for the rest
There
of my
we go. Stories from the Sandcrawler with Michael Mack.
This is why I'm not on the show.
So he's doing a record store day, and he's doing a pizzeria, and then he's doing Zany's Comedy Club, apparently.
I get no respect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Mack. Chicago Blues. Thank you, Michael. Wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah, not many people can say that they used R2-D2's toilet, but Michael Mack followed that up very well. All right, we're going to switch gears a little bit here and bring on another good friend of us here at Rebel Force Radio. We've also known him for a very long time. And as a matter of fact, I think we first met this gentleman through Mr. Forrest, if I remember correctly. But ladies and gentlemen, yes, Mr. Kevin Liell.
Star Wars artist Kevin Liell.
Why do I have to stand? Anybody else gets to sit.
All right, well, go ahead.
You want to sit down?
Go ahead, sit.
He's a guest on the show.
Ball buster.
I'm 6.5 feet. If I can't do,
All right.
I won't be able to see Jason if I'm standing up there.
So you guys know Kevin. He's been on the show a lot of times. He is a great Star Wars artist. And he is on the convention floor this weekend at the Norse Legion booth. It's right over by the tattoo.
Right next door.
I was going to say tattoo parlor, but they call it
Pavilion.
Tattoo Pavilion. And
Are they doing tattoos in there, or is it just a place you go show off your tattoos?
They've got like 15 artists, yeah. They're constantly doing them the entire time.
I have a Star Wars tattoo. It's the Wolfpack. You guys ever see that?
Ooh.
We did that live on the air back at, what celebration was that?
That
Six?
was at Star Wars Celebration 6, yes.
Yeah, 6.
In Orlando. And if you look, he's kind of like a cynical wolf. Because he's kind of like, he's kind of like,
Yeah.
It's because I got my tattoo while we were doing the show, and it was done by a great tattoo artist, a guy named Mark Draven, who actually runs the Tattoo Pavilion. And he said I was being too squirmy. And then I think I got lectured about what kind of idiot does a podcast while he's getting a tattoo. I'm guilty as charged. So I think I'm going to get it touched up over the weekend a little bit.
Are you
Maybe
really?
a little shading, and you can see there's kind of some faded spots there, and just that little
Well,
smart
there are a lot more wrinkles in it than there were when you first got it. You know, it's getting a little...
Happens to us all.
I'm going to ignore that comment until we get back to the hotel.
Ooh.
So, Kevin, there's a note here in your bio, and it is so true. You're like the anti-Bob Uecker, because you're not in the nosebleeds. You are the guy that's always in the front row of everything. It seems like when
That is
something
not true.
No, I think it is true. When something is happening, exciting in the world of Star Wars, we just go on to Kevin Liell's Facebook page, and there is a sneaky photo that you have somehow taken underneath the table, and people have no idea that you're photographing them, and we can find out what's going on. It's incredible.
I do a lot of panel hosts out there in Eastern Connecticut, or the East Coast.
Yeah.
Glen goes to a lot of shows with me, and I do it a lot. I'll tell a quick funny story. I did it one time at Celebration last year when I was backstage when they had the 20th anniversary panel, and there was this buffet of food, and Harrison Ford went up, and there was like one of those wrap sandwiches, like 2 parts. So he went up and grabbed this one, and then I immediately ran up and grabbed that one.
So you put it in a Ziploc baggie and saved it, and it's on eBay?
No, I ate it. I felt like I needed to consume it, and I took a picture of him eating his, just because doing
that's
exactly
what you
what you
do.
just said.
It's like splitting a sandwich with Harrison Ford. Now, if Harrison Ford...
I did split a
heard this
sandwich with
story-
Harrison Ford.
Well,
It wasn't like splitting a sandwich with Harrison Ford. He had one half, and I had one half.
And if Harrison had heard this story, he'd be like, that's the creepiest thing I ever heard.
Where's my lawyer? You know.
Who let this guy in?
Well, you've had, and here's the thing, though. It's not like you've just, fell ass backwards into these situations. You're a very hardworking guy. You're a serial entrepreneur, and you make it happen.
You're a
So we
hustler.
kid you a lot.
you. I am
but
a hustler.
But you make it happen. And one of the things that you did, which was fantastic for a lot of fans, is you kind of looked around and you're like, why is Wedge never doing Star Wars conventions? Why can't we get Wedge out here?
Yeah.
Because you're obviously a fan, in addition to somebody who does business, real business in the world of Star Wars. So what was it that gave you the idea, other than the fact that the guy just hadn't been in there, that you could be the one to finally bring Wedge to a Star Wars celebration?
God, I wish I had a good answer for that. That was just, he had never done one. I wanted to meet him, and I just figured if I called every agent in London, I would find him, and that's how I did.
And that's what you did.
I
that's
called.
hustle.
It took like 6 months of calling agents and saying, "Do you represent Dennis Lawson? We'd like to use him for something." And finally, one said, "Yeah. What do you got?" And then.
And were you like, really? You're serious?
No, I wasn't that, because I realized I'd eventually get it. And there was a Star Wars actor who Anthony knows who kind of helped me point to the direction of which agent that might be. I'm not going to give any hints, but it was Biggs. It was
Biggs!
he helped out a lot. And just a quick story. He asked me to do a bunch of patches for him, and he's like, "What it cost?" And I'm like, "Nothing."
No.
I got you, man. Don't worry about it.
You're all good. You helped me get Wedge. And so the proposal was made, and was this something where he's like, yeah, no one had ever asked me before, or was he reluctant to do it at first? Because
no, he was right off the bat. He was like, really? They want me to come? And I'm like, yes, they want you to come. And he was cool with it, and he was really he was a little shy, and he didn't want to do the panels because he felt that they'd ask questions he didn't know, and he wouldn't remember things, and he thought that none of you guys would really care. And then after like 2 or 3 days of the panel, because his panel, who went to Celebration last time here in the U.S.? Okay, so they had a Rebels panel, I believe, a Rebel pilot panel. I believe it was at the end of the convention, right? Was it the last day or the second to last day? It was the Sunday, right? Anyway, it was. So by those 3 or 4 days of people coming to his booth and showing such emotion and gratitude to him, he decided to do it. So he actually joined it like maybe the last couple hours before it.
Yeah.
So he kind of opened up about it.
And there were others you had to convince too. I mean, the people that were running the autographs, they were like, is this somebody that the fans really want to see?
Damn, I don't bring that one up. But
I mean, it's not like that. It's not a household name. The character's not a household name.
The first person. Okay, I'll just say it. Since we're all friends here, and we're not going to go online and talk about it. I got Dennis and made him a guarantee that I just made up. And I called Tops up and go, guess what? I got Dennis Lawson, and they're like, so what? And it's okay, I can say this because the person doesn't work at Tops anymore. And then I said, well, I got Dennis Lawson, and he wants X, Y, and Z. And he's like, all right, well, no. And then he called me 3 days later. And the guy's like, do you still have Dennis Lawson? And I'm like, there's a little too much emotion in your voice. So I knew that he spoke to someone with the knowledge like that you two guys would have, or Glen or anybody in the room. And they're all like, what are you talking about?
And found out who he was.
Get him.
Likely, yeah. Right.
You
In
know,
fact, he hadn't been on
and so
well.
they just agreed to bring him in, and he had a great time. And he's a huge Black Sabbath fan. That's how
I
cool
didn't know
Dennis
that.
Lawson is. He likes
I didn't
Black
know
Sabbath.
that.
I just like to think of all of the autograph collectors out there that you made their dreams come true, or all of the Star Wars film posters that you helped complete collections for, because that was a tough one to get.
And it was for me too. I didn't have a Dennis Lawson autograph, and actually at the end they were really happy because he had the highest pre-sales of any actor at the last Celebration, except for Mark Hamill. And then at the end of the convention, I said he wants to keep his banner, the banner behind him. And they said, well, we keep those, and we raffled them. I'm like, he wants to keep the banner behind him. And they're like, okay, he can have it. And then I went back to Dennis. I'm like, Dennis, do you want this banner behind you? He's like, no. It's in the Norse Legion warehouse right now, and it's signed by him.
Well played. And what's going on at the Norse Legion booth this week?
We have, of course, jewelry and pins and patches that we design, and it's going really well. Today was actually the highest day I've ever had at any convention, including a Celebration. It was really good.
Congratulations. Wow.
I didn't tell you this because we were talking before the show, but I talked to my sales manager who's here in the back, and we decided that anybody who comes to my booth tomorrow and says Rebel Force Radio or I attended the Rebel Force Radio party will get 20% off what they do.
20%.
I'm going to do that. And you guys have some merchandise here tonight?
Yeah, we have our Chicago Bulls Mandalorian patch.
Did you guys see these Chicago Bulls?
Which we'll just give out, just to anybody who wants one.
Oh, this is fun.
I'm just, you know what I'm doing? I'm trying to hit Tullis. I'm trying to hit Tullis. I almost got him. Look, there he is. Not all of them. Now we got to give some to the trivia.
Oh.
I'll get more. It's okay.
All right.
Did I get Tullis?
Oh, you got him. Good shot, man.
So you host a lot of panels. You're interviewing various celebrities on stages at conventions all over, and you also are known as sort of the trivia guy. You do these incredible trivia contests at various conventions. You've done them at Celebrations before.
We did 3, I think, right?
Yeah.
Three. And Glen was my music host.
He's a good one. He's a good one for that. And so we thought that we might do a little Star Wars trivia tonight.
Yeah.
Brother versus brother.
It's going to be Team Jason against Team Jimmy. There's more. And what we're going to do is we're going to have 18 people from the audience who will win something, but they have to pick either Team Jason or Team Jimmy. And Millennial Cris, what is it, Cleveland Cris or Millennial Cris? What is it? Yeah, Millennial Cris. That sounds funnier. So, because who doesn't love millennials? I'm just kidding. I love everybody. So we decided. I was talking with Jason with Jimmy last week. Remember we were talking like, well, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? And I'm like, well, why don't we just like put like Steak and Shake hats on their head? And I didn't think he'd say yes. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So I went to Steak and Shake this week on my drive from Connecticut to here, and we got he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Okay, never mind. So what we're going to do, Steak and Shakes with the Rebel Force Radio party sticker on them. And anybody who wants to participate, you will pick either Team Jason or Team Jimmy, and you'll go to Millennial Cris. Come on, that's funny. That's funny. You'll go to Millennial Cris, and he will give you a hat. And if your person wins, whether it's Jason or Jimmy, you get to have, what are we giving? We're giving a T-shirt and a patch to the winning team, and the losers get nothing.
All right. So
nothing.
Let's get these distributed because we got a trivia contest to do.
We're going to distribute these out. You got to tell this guy, Cleveland Cris, whether you want Jason or Jimmy.
Hey, Cris, try to spread it out around the room a little bit.
Yeah, let's not just get one table. That's a good idea.
And try to do it in about 10 seconds.
All right. Now, can we establish some ground rules first of all?
Okay.
Can you make all of the questions about real Star Wars, not the books and the comics and all the crap?
Or The Last Jedi.
Or
I am comfortable
Real
with
Star
any
Wars,
Star Wars
please.
question. You can ask anything you want. But Jason is a little more film canon centric. So
I did go over I did go over some questions this week, and I don't think many are from the books.
All right. Eric, so Cris is distributing the Steak and Shake hats, and of course
I'm seeing 3 hats on and 5 hats on. We got to get them on the heads because we just think it looks funny. I can't believe they're doing it.
We had a great meal at Steak and Shake once, the 3 of us. Remember that?
Oh yeah, at the last celebration in Celebration Orlando, we went there with your Charger, with your rented Charger, and you let me drive, and it's a Charger, so it's really fast. And then Jimmy's like, "Get out! You ain't driving no more." Because look, there's nothing faster that you can drive than a sports car that's rented by somebody else.
Okay, looks like the hats have been distributed. Everyone raise their hand if they are Team Jason.
There we go.
And all you future winners, raise your hand if you are Team Jimmy Mack. Yes. You're my people. You're my people. You're my peeps.
We did do a little dry run of this last night, and I did win, just so you know.
That is true. We did a dry run. I asked 2 questions. You got both right, and
Yes.
Jimmy did not.
Correct.
Surprisingly. But he didn't answer the first
What
one.
do you mean surprisingly? What does
Well,
that
no,
mean?
but you beat him 2-0.
right, I
That
did.
was surprising.
I did.
1-on-1 would have been.
Because I know he's
'cause you're
going to
both
kick
good.
my ass tonight, so I just had to throw that out there as a way to keep some credibility. I just know it.
Your confidence is your weakness.
Real quick, number from 1 to 10. Number from 1 to 10. Starting with you.
5.
9.
It was 7, right in the fucking middle.
What did he? What?
I am so sorry.
I don't care.
I'd like to thank you for my last time on Rebel Force Radio. All right, now I'm going to do it. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 30.
17.
27.
21, you win. Okay, so the first question goes to Jimmy Mack.
All right, this is for you guys. Wish me luck.
How many limbs does Dexter Jettster have?
Jester, how many limbs? See, that's a tricky one. I'm going to say 6. 6 limbs.
And the answer is 6. You are correct. The next question is for Jason. Who tells Qui-Gon, "You Jedi are far too reckless"?
Padme.
That is correct. That's 1-1.
These are easy questions so far.
Where is Jimmy Macht? Cris Macht. We need someone to take score. I forgot about that.
Oh, here, I can.
No, I want Macht.
Oh, you're not keeping
You're not keeping
score.
score. Macht
It's like you
Macht
think
is a
the bank Monopoly.
documentarian.
It's not.
You got a pen or a phone to write it in? I want you to keep score.
All right.
Okay. Why does he? Are you wearing a hat?
How did that happen?
Tullis is the judge. Tullis is the judge.
All right, let's continue.
The next question is for Jimmy. What class vehicle did Luke Bullseye Want Raps in? What class of vehicle did Luke Bullseye Womp Rats in?
Well, you guys shouldn't, I mean, really, don't yell out the answers.
And Jimmy did say last night, he's like, make sure you ask the audience not to. And I said, no, they're not that stupid. I don't have to do that. Well, apparently they are. You can't, oh, just one person. Come on, it's one person I said it to, not all of you. I love all of you. I was the one who said you wouldn't do it, so please, don't call out the answers. I
used to say, I used to bullseye womp rats in my T16 bag.
I'm gonna have to ask you another question.
Okay.
That's okay. Okay. According to Obi-Wan, a lightsaber is not as clumsy or blank as a blaster.
Random.
Very good. Okay.
Clumsy or random as a blaster. These are easy, right?
Jason.
They've been easy so far, yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
What is the name of the first ship we see in A New Hope?
The name.
The name. And not from the audience, but
Ship
from Jason.
name.
What is the
There's a couple
name?
of different pronunciations, but I like to call it the Tantive 4.
What do you say, Tantive? I say Tantive.
Well, some people
It's
call it the
Tantive.
Tantive.
Which I would have given you.
All right. Thank you.
Next question is for... So we're 2-2, right, Tullis?
Not the Sundered Heart. Do you remember that? Oh,
Yeah.
it's a long time ago.
The next question is for Jason. Jimmy, excuse me. The next
Yes.
question is for Jimmy. Who is taller, Yoda or Salacious Crumb? Who is taller? So the answer is the taller of the two. Now, what did I just tell you? What did I just say? That's your friend too. The guy we were with last. That was the guy we were with last night.
Amorim.
You were all like nice and friendly and.
Yoda. Yoda is taller than Salacious Crumb.
Well, what should I do? He screamed out the answer. Should I give it to you?
Ask me another one.
Because the answer is actually Salacious Crumb.
Hey, man, if you're going to yell shit, make sure it's the right shit, okay?
Did you just say the S word? Just so I'm not the only one who did it?
I didn't want you to be the only one.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay.
While running on Jakku, this is going to be again for you. Shut up. While running on Jakku, what word does Rey use to describe the Falcon in The Force Awakens? What word does Rey use to describe the Falcon?
Word?
While running on Jakku, what word does she use to describe the Falcon?
A sequel question. Now, this does... She says... She calls it... She says it's... Hold on.
What are you giving?
No, stop. I'm thinking.
No, but Glen Nelson's talking to me. What? We can go out next week when we get back. We'll go back. We'll get you.
I might get this wrong. She calls it garbage?
She calls it garbage.
Yes, she does call it garbage. Yeah.
Apparently, this game of two has now included Glen Nelson. Silence, Glen. And for those of you who don't know, Glen's like my neighbor. He lives like half an hour from me.
All right, let's do some really tough, like three
Well,
more.
wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Really tough ones. After this one.
After this one.
Yeah, let's turn up the heat a little.
You want really tough ones?
Well, in a minute.
well, he
in a
gets,
minute or
he
two.
gets
No
a-
problem, guys.
Give
I'll
him a
get you one.
softball, though, on par with the garbage question.
You missed Salacious Crumb.
I didn't miss anything. That was
This one's multiple
disqualified.
choice.
Oh, okay.
But it's hard. Jason,
C.
what
No.
it's multiple choice. Well, never mind. What species is Max Rebo? Is he an Ortolan or a Miradorn? What species is Max Rebo? Ortolan or Miradorn?
Max Rebo, species.
We just called him Blue Elephant Guy.
Want me to say the names again?
No, yeah, give it to me again.
Which means you have no clue what it is.
Yeah.
Because those two words don't sound anything alike.
I really don't. This is a 50-50 shot.
Ortolan or Miradorn?
I'm going to go with Miradorn. Oh, God.
The answer obviously is
what
Ortolan.
almanac was this
now,
in?
I'll give a patch if anybody can tell me where a Miradorn is from. It's not from Star Wars. It's from something else.
Is it
I hate
from-
that guy.
Galaxy Quest.
It's from Star Trek. Who said
It
Star
is from
Trek?
Star Trek.
It's an episode of Deep Space Nine.
All right,
the
come
mirror
over here
door.
and get the patch.
Get over here.
He's not going to throw it.
No, I'm not going. I've already.
All right, now
I've
here
already
come the
worked that out.
real hardball. We're going to do...
Oh, that wasn't hard, huh?
That was
gonna
easy.
max
And you had a 50-50 shot no matter what you did, and you
Okay.
answered, you missed it.
Tell us how you doing on the 3-3 tie. Who's got 2? Jason has 2. Jimmy has 3. Okay.
Is Salacious Crumb really taller than Yoda? That doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem...
Yeah, because I'm just making this stuff. First of all, I personally know Salacious Crumb. I brought him on your show last time, for crying out loud.
He personally knows Salacious Crumb. I know Swank. He knows Crumb.
What species is Snice? This is for Jimmy. What species is Snice Snoodle? Is she Chandrillan or Poloic? What species is Snice Snoodle?
B.
Did you know that?
Yes. I just can't really say it correctly.
Okay, the answer is Poloic. Do you know who is Chandrillan? Who can tell me who's Chandrillan? Very good. Who said it first?
Okay. Chandrillan.
Just take a total guess.
All right, that's a tough one. Okay, that's
Okay.
a tough one.
We forgot. How do we stop this? Do I just go all night till the show starts tomorrow morning at
It's the
Celebration?
best out of 7.
Best out of 7?
Best out of 7.
Best out of 7.
Best out of 7.
Tell us, how many questions have they asked?
I think we're on our 4th round.
7 and 7.
So this is round 4 of 7. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So 7 rounds.
And Jason's up.
Jason, your question is, and these are all at random in the same line, because it's hard. What actor plays Owen Lars in Revenge of the Sith? What actor plays Owen Lars in Revenge of the Sith? That's not too hard, I guess, right?
Oh, hold on a second.
Do we have a time limit on this?
Hold on, don't rush me. I gotta think. I haven't thought about this guy in a long time. Kind of looks like James Corden a little bit, like a thinner version.
A little bit, yeah. I've never thought of that.
And it's not James Corden, I know that.
Come on, Jay, you should know this one.
Oh, come on.
Do you know the answer?
Yeah, he's an actor who has a career outside of Star Wars, actually.
You're dropping hints to him.
He has a brother who also worked on the prequel.
And he was in that MMA movie, yeah. Well, I'm what? You're giving him clues. I can give him clues. I'm
I
the host. I can do what I want.
Should I answer?
No.
All right, time
I have his action figure. I don't remember
Time
his name.
is up.
I don't remember his
Joel Edgerton.
name.
Joel Edgerton is the name.
All right.
Young Owen. Not
Young
as grizzled. Ungrizzled Owen.
The next question is for Jimmy. Where were Luke and Leia born? The funny thing is, my notes here, I actually have the wrong answer, but I know the right one anyway, because I'm Kevin Liell, so I know what I'm doing. Right? I actually have the wrong answer. It's funny. I'm looking down on it. I'm like, that is so weird.
Polis Massa.
Polis Massa. That's close enough.
Massa.
We got one question each. 5-3. 5-2. This is not like last night, man. This is totally different.
We were drinking last night. I hope you guys are hitting up the bar a lot, keeping every bartender's busy. Yes, libations.
I forgot what you said. This is just a coincidence, Jason. You said do or do not ask a quotation question.
Ask a what?
A quotation question. You're going to get one anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right.
You're good?
All right,
Okay,
yeah, I'm
so
good. I'm
what
good.
is the first line spoken by Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace? What is the first line spoken by Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace? One of you says it, I'm just going to jump out. I'm a stage dive.
It's not the one you're thinking.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
It is.
I'm thinking of 2 different lines. I just have to remember which was said first.
He had 3.
He had 2 lines.
He had 3. He has 3 lines.
Thank you.
Priceless.
At last, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last, we will have revenge.
Is that your answer?
Yes.
No.
Oh, it's about the communications. We'll find them quickly, Master.
No, it's Tatooine is sparsely populated.
Ah.
All right.
Tatooine is sparsely populated.
I'll retire. Who wants the gig? I mean,
Just for fun, I want you guys to stay on your toes, okay? I'll be whipping these patches out there.
all right, let's get this over with, okay?
Come on.
Come on.
How many more now? It's 5-2. 5-2.
In the classic trilogy, how many characters? This question is for Jimmy. In the classic trilogy, how many characters ignite a lightsaber? In the classic trilogy, meaning A New Hope, Jedi, Empire. Oh, there's 2 Jedi. How does that work? Did we still say Jedi and mean Return of the Jedi?
Han.
Yeah, you can say Jedi. Yeah.
But we don't mean Last Jedi.
We never mean Last Jedi.
I've
You
already
can't say
won.
Last Jedi in my house. Yeah,
I would just like to point out I've already won this little.
not
contest.
necessarily.
It's
Oh,
over.
yeah.
Yes, I did.
This is just to.
So I don't have to answer, but I'm going to say
You will.
4
The
4
answer is 4.
characters
That's a really easy
to
one.
seal the deal.
It's a real easy
That
one.
seals the deal.
What are we at, Telus?
Victory!
6-2. Have we asked 7 questions apiece? So we got one more.
That's a best of 7, but I've already
No, but there's
won.
no way to win.
Jason, well, but you know what? You can have pride and try the best you can.
All right. Oh, okay. All right.
Which Jedi Master discovers Ahsoka Tano? Which Jedi Master discovers Ahsoka Tano?
Plo Koon.
Plo Koon
There
is
we
correct.
go. Yes. Jason is back. He was down and out for a while. We thought we lost him, but he's back. Are we done?
No, it's one more question for you, and then we're done, right?
All right.
We said best of 7. He's already got 6 victories. We've already. All right, fine. Where was the Falcon docked in Mos Eisley? I need the full title. Where was the Falcon docked at Mos Eisley? It's said in the movies. I'm not trying to get some, down Quacken Street or whatever.
Docking Bay 94.
Docking Bay 94 is correct.
So easy.
So you're saying one each
All
more,
these
Tullis?
softball questions, Jimmy's head.
Just Jason, and then we're done.
All right.
Okay.
There's some hard.
It's a multiple choice one, so how about that?
Okay,
There you
I
go.
like that. I like
Who was the creature maker for the classic trilogy? Was it Dennis Muren or Phil Tippett? Who was the creature maker for the classic trilogy? Was it Dennis Muren or Phil Tippett?
It's Phil Tippett.
Phil Tippett is correct. So the winner, obviously, tell us who we got.
So
7-4, not a blowout, not bad.
wait, I didn't. How did I get? I thought we only did 7 rounds. I got them all right. Even that Yoda Salacious Crumb, that was a technicality, though.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Now, for those of you who won, if you have a look on your hat, if you have a JM for Jimmy Mack, you can go down to the booth tomorrow at 5132 and pick up a free T-shirt and patch of your choice
How cool!
from Norse Legion.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Kevin is the best.
Whoa, just to be nice, because I love Jason so much, because he's such a nice guy, that if you do have a hat that says Jason Swank, you can come down to the booth and get a free patch of your choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Liell.
Yes. A Star Wars Celebration Miracle with Kevin Liell.
All right. Okay.
That was fun.
So
I won. Swank lost. Jason needs to read more books. That's all I got to say.
Right.
Everyone knows.
Right. That'll really help me with the Darth Maul line question, right?
It
Those
might.
crappy books.
It might.
All right. In a lot of ways, we're going to kind of wrap up here tonight where we started way back at Celebration 4. One of the first cool official things that I got to do, and this was actually even before Jim joined the show, was to host a panel featuring 2 independent filmmakers that were creating this incredible documentary. Wendy mentioned earlier passion. I don't really know anybody with more passion about what he does than our next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear friend, Cris Macht, and I believe back on Rebel Force Radio after a long absence, his sister, Courtney Macht.
Is Courtney here? Is Courtney here? No, Courtney's not here.
What?
Courtney is
Go
not
sit
here.
down, Chris. We've seen you before. No, Cris Macht.
Courtney's not here, so the show's canceled.
All
All right, well, we'll struggle through this with just you, Chris.
Struggle through.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
So
Well, Chris, it's good to have you. Like I said, that was, when you asked Pete Nadel and myself to host your panel at Star Wars Celebration, that was such a thrill. We had never done anything with any official capacity. The show hadn't been out for that long, so thank you for that opportunity. It really did kind of kickstart a lot of other things for us.
Well, that was really where our relationship was born, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you contacted me. You said, hey, you're a Chicago guy. Why don't, can you interview me? And I was like, we've already wrapped on the film, but I want you guys to be part of something, you know?
Yeah.
And I want to thank you guys for the opportunity for so many years. And a lot of you guys that have watched my films, and if you haven't, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch them for free. If you can watch them for free now, I'm not a shrewd businessman anymore, So not selling DVDs for $20 anymore. But it's,
I'm sure you have some in your backpack just in case anyone wants
I
a
do, and I
physical
feel like
copy.
doing a trivia contest, Like
We had a guy come up to Jimmy Mack and myself with his Force Among Us DVD.
Oh, you guys are here!
You
Oh
got
my
it
God!
signed.
Well, do you have the disc?
Is it
Well,
already
bring it
signed?
over here.
Has anybody not seen The Force Among Us? I do want to see I want to see a sea of hands out there.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys got Amazon? Hey, how you doing,
Ladies
man?
and gentlemen, this is Keith. We met him today at the convention center. and-
Keith came up to us and he asked us to sign, because we have a credit on the back, and asked us to sign the jacket, and he said, can you get us...
You guys signed it before I did.
Well, he found us first. It was a total coincidence, and then...
I
That is
didn't want
very
to.
cool.
I was texting you.
Yeah.
So Keith and Olivia, they
And you
ran
know
into
what?
them at the convention center, and they really wanted they're like, yeah, we're
don't tell me it's a
thousands of
bootleg,
miles
Chris,
for
is it?
Cris
No.
Macht's autograph.
No, but the funny thing is that because Jimmy wasn't in The Force Among Us, and he's become a dear friend, and his whole family has become really good friends over the years. He was in The Force Among Us director's cut because we literally pressed 1977 copies, and they sold out thanks to probably half of you guys in the room. And there was another podcast group that I interviewed because I contacted them before Jimmy contacted me. And I did a phantom edit. And in the director's cut, I put Jimmy Mack over these evil podcasters that I will not mention. So
it's a
So,
phantom edit.
it's a phantom edit.
But
And
this is the original right
this
here.
is the original, and this is so crazy that I haven't seen an original, and I'd actually borrow an original from an in-law because Glen actually.
Yeah?
When
Your
I met
cousin
Glen in
Glen?
2009.
Oh,
he's
no,
like-
Glenn. Okay, this Glenn.
He goes, dude, you don't need to sell all your movies. He's like, you're gonna have kids and grandkids. He's like, save it for them, and I never saved any. I just
Told you, man.
You did tell me. So now I'm borrowing it from the in-laws that I gave him to his Christmas gifts.
And
So-
the interesting thing you were talking about, thanking all the folks that had bought the movie. I mean, you did this. This was sort of crowdsourcing before crowdsourcing was a real thing. You didn't have Kickstarter. You didn't have all this technology that people have now. You had just a website that you built yourself and put it out there to have people back the project, essentially, and buy these DVDs from.
I think that's why I'm sitting on 2 film projects now. That the Toys R Us documentary that's in
right.
post-production,
Right.
and the real fans of the saga, the spin-off
Yes.
of the Real Housewives of Orange County, and I think to tell you the truth, I think I just got so burnt out, and and you guys know what burnt out is all about, man. I mean,
What are you talking about?
just hit a brick wall, you know.
It's never
Yeah, like that
ever
trivia contest. I know.
Oh, no, man. You
know,
got to
it's-
keep going. You got to keep your head down. You got to plow forward. No downtime when it comes to Star Wars, Chris.
You know, and
I've been saying that to you for years.
you have, and you guys have been a huge inspiration, you know,
Thank
to keep
you.
going. And you know, has anybody seen The Force Within Us, the sequel? Yeah. That really is that. The Force Within Us is. Even though Carl Cunningham, the thief, Carl Cunningham is in that movie, I got to make a fan of meta
Well,
with
you're
him.
checking off all the boxes. Evil podcasters.
Evil Star Wars thieves.
Oh,
you know, but
jeez.
the Force Within Us has you interviewed at your house with your wife, Wendy, stories with Wendy, stories with your kids. Ashley Eckstein, who is still a beautiful person to this day. You know, Jeremy Bullock's in it. Robert Watts is in it. We filmed in Northern California, in Endor, and Death Valley. To me, that is really where like you said, the passion. You know, I was actually disappointed with The Force Among Us because it was my first film, and after 6 years of burning desire to make another film, the Force Within Us was born, which caused me to burn out again.
Well, but you had these incredible experiences of visiting these locations, where these iconic locations where Star Wars actually was filmed. And was that what really prompted you to say, yes, I want to do a film, or was it, I want to do a film and go to these locations?
You know, when we filmed in Norway, everything was kind of falling into place. Kind of like meeting you guys, you know? And a friend of mine in Belgium, Mark, he was leading these people on these tours. Like, he took me to Tunisia, where Anthony Forrest was.
Right.
And after I went to Tunisia in 2005, I was like, wow, how am I going to top that? And then me and my sister had the idea to do The Force Among Us. And then Mark was going to Norway. And I was going to do a Skype interview with him from Norway. And my ex-wife's cousin, who really made the first film for me, he goes, no, we gotta go to Norway. He's like, you can't do a Skype interview. So again, no crowdsource funding. Me and Courtney split the bill. It was $10,000 to get the film crew to Norway, which is a lot of money now, but more money in 2007.
Yeah, this is true.
And, you know, then when I did the sequel to go to Northern California, Endor, and then Death Valley, you know, that was just kind of picking up where we left off.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and it was like with the Force Among Us, it was sort of the closing of a chapter, because that was right around.
Yeah, it was.
After Revenge of the Sith came out,
Yeah.
and you were pretty bummed out. You thought that was it. I remember you saying you thought that
at
was
the
it.
time,
Yeah.
at the time, that was it. And the funny thing is, The Force Among Us, it's old now, you know, but it's still more timeless to me than I think The Force Within Us is kind of dated, even though it was made several years after. But there was a lot of talk about Star Wars not happening, and in The Force Among Us, it was more about the celebration of what we just went through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that in 2005. It was kind of like 1992 all over again. It was that dark era where it's like Star Wars is not really going to happen anymore. But George obviously, you know, had different ideas and, you know, sold the company, and here we are.
Well, and I remember you making the documentary. I mean, you were first inspired to do so because there was going to be no more Star Wars coming out. So you wanted to find that way to keep you
That's the note.
I thought we were going to start doing a bit. Song and dance number, Glen? Impromptu?
We got to get Lando Puppet back up here to
But,
sing this song, you know?
Sorry, just getting a beer.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But like, you know, you were trying to keep the flame alive with, you know, the prospect of nothing new on the horizon.
Yeah.
And so I think it was a lot of fans who sort of had that inner passion for Star Wars and wanted to do whatever they could to maintain a connection to it. I think that sort of energy is what finally brought Star Wars back. You know, I mean, it was the fans really keeping it alive for a long time. And I can't, you know, I mean, what kind of film franchises really promote that sort of dedication from their fan base.
Well, if the fans don't keep it alive, it's
Right.
we're going to be at Celebration 20, and it's going to be at
John Carter from Mars celebration. That's the case.
Yeah,
That was a
right.
good movie too.
It's going to be at a VFW hall.
It was a good movie, but it didn't get the fan support. And being out here in the Chicago area, we've kind of all gotten together. Like Star Wars fans, we managed to find each other. And you certainly have introduced a lot of great.
Yes.
It is true. I mean, we're all here, right?
Chicago.
Yeah, we all found each other. My dad always used to say that.
They always find ways to they find each other.
You've introduced a lot of really quality people to my life. Of course, your sister and your friends from the real fans of the saga. I guess reality show is what it was, and you started out with 4 of you, and now there's only 3.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to take a moment to pay tribute a little bit to a friend of ours who we lost to cancer earlier this year. And
Anybody was a Kickstarter supporter of the real fans?
yeah, we got a few
Guys
here.
back? Okay. Real fans of the saga is it was funny. Jimmy's like, you can't call it the real fans of the saga. They're gonna be so pissed at you. I'm like, no, it's not the real. It's not like we are the real fans. My wife is a huge fan of the Real Housewives series, and I, every time I'm crashing out, my wife has that on, and I'm like, that would be cool to do a Star Wars spin-off reality show. Kind of like the Real Housewives of XYZ. And one of our friends, there was 4 of us that kind of starred in this reality series. And my friend Bo, who I've known for 20 plus years, Jimmy, Bo lived by your dad, right?
No, his dad is in my neighborhood,
His
so
dad
I
is
would
in your,
often
his dad is
see
in your
Bo
neighborhood. That's right. That's
around.
right. So you have kind of a close connection to him as well.
Absolutely.
And my friend Bo just passed away from cancer in like 5 days before Christmas. And if anybody if anybody knew Bo, I printed off a couple buttons that I'm giving away for free to just kind of commemorate him at Star Wars Celebration. Went to the last. Thank you very much. And Bo being from Chicago, and I remember him telling Jimmy, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited that Celebration is down the street from my house." Bo lived like 10 minutes away from here, and I went to the last 2 celebrations with him. I brought Bo to his first celebration in Anaheim. And he was at your party in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Anybody at the...
He performed. He played percussion
right.
with the band.
Anybody at the Rebel Force Radio Bash in Anaheim?
Yeah, Bo was there.
And it's just kind of sad that he's not here. And it was just the timing was so close. I mean, he passed away 4 months ago, 4 months ago.
It's still pretty fresh. So
Yeah, it's very fresh. It's very
we
fresh.
were planning on celebrating his full recovery this week. So,
Yes, we were, and he's not here with us. I'm bringing his wife and his daughter, though. On me, I bought their tickets for tomorrow, so they can at least experience it
That's nice. That's nice.
in his memory, But someday I will release the full 12 episodes on Amazon Prime of the real fans of the saga. It's supposed to be sooner than later, so watch for that on Amazon Prime.
It's just like George Lucas.
Yeah.
He'll get around to it. one of these
George
days.
Lucas is an inspiration in a good way and a bad way. Yeah, you know what? So if you didn't know Bo, and if you knew Bo, just raise your glass. Even if you got a glass of water, if you got an RC, a Coke, this is to Bo Glazer, a good friend of mine and Jimmy's. Cheers, salute to Bo. A moment of
To Bo Glazer.
to Bo Glazer.
I think Glen Nelson has a musical selection that he's going to play you here as we wrap things up.
I'm gonna jam on this one with you.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, you guys can play together.
Grab your djembe.
I'll play right.
Tell us a little bit about the song and how it connects to our fallen comrade.
This is a song that I wrote with that man right over there. Tullis,
Oh,
a.k.a. Shaz Bazaar.
Shaz Bazaar is here. Does anybody listen to the Techno Retro Dad show?
Yeah.
All right. Where's
Awesome show, awesome
Stuart
show.
Tullis, Shaz Bazaar. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Another longtime friend of ours. There he is. Been with us since the very beginning, really. There he is. Look,
So happy that he was keeping score instead of me.
And of course, Stuart was, he stole the show at the last celebration as the best damn Hondo Naka you could ever see cosplaying on the convention floor. And Dave Filoni was very impressed by you. I'm surprised he didn't take you home with him.
Hey, and before Glenn starts the song for Bo, I want to raise a glass again. Thank you to Jimmy and Jason for bringing us all together, keeping this alive.
Thanks, Chris.
Cheers, man.
To you guys. Appreciate it. So go ahead, Glenn.
So it's a song that I wrote with Shaz, and it's off the first album. And it's a song about how Star Wars brings us together as friends, family, brothers. So this one's for Bo. It's called The Circle is Complete. A lifetime ago and so far away, summers of sun, we'd run and we'd play. Discovered a story of hope and despair, and found ourselves something to share. A tale filled with darkness that's blacker than night, of freedom's refusal to die without fight, where a boy becomes a white knight. Rescue a princess, blast into space. A bicycle ride was a speeder bike chase. Laser swords clashed in a duel with a friend. We thought those days never would end. But boys become men, days stretch into years. Dreams become threatened with doubts and with fears. Overcome them with blood, sweat, and tears. Heroes and villains and right versus wrong. The chronicler's story, the composer's sweet song. The artist's revision upon our mind's eye. Our soul soared into the sky. Our soul soared into the sky. Lessons those legends taught us still remain. One little victory is worth all the pain. People aren't things to be used for our ends, and family is found in our friends. Well, the boy of the past is a man now who's grown, a husband and father with kids of his own, who passes on what he has known. Heroes and villains and right versus wrong. The chronicler's story, the composer's sweet song. The artist's revision upon our mind's eye. Our soul soared into the sky. Well, yesterday's gone, all that's left is today. You can never go home, the philosophers say. But a circle completed goes back to its start. And a home is a state of the heart. And home is a state of the heart. 'Cause heroes and villains and right versus wrong. The chronicler's story, the composer's sweet song. The artist's revision upon our mind's eye. Our soul soared into the sky. Our soul soared into the sky. 'Cause heroes and villains and right versus wrong. A tale told with passion to make our faith strong. Enfolds us and binds us, ties and tethers, and brings family together. And brings family together. That's for you, Bo.
Bo Glazer.